Hello friends! Ever consider we may be in a state of malnutrition? The lack of wholesome meals are major contributing factors towards disease and behaviors, just like oil and gas to a working vehicle. Not to mention lifestyle are very real considerations. After 20 plus years of listening, surveying, observations, and hosting retreats, I interacted with many patients and their families. I myself was a patient overcame 3 major health challenges. My experience and insights will help to equip you, my audience, to unpack and eliminate guessworks before you visit your doctors. Welcome to my show, Optimize Wellness and Maximize Life by way of 1 degree change. Hi everyone, this is Mary Axness again. I'm so excited. This is episode 3. I'm holding up here called Delicious Enzyme. That is my research and study background. And enzyme is always talked about, but very misunderstood topic. And I'm going to delve into it a little bit because it's in my book called Optimize Wellness and Maximize Life. And I want everyone to go get a copy of this book. It may not be as easy to understand because it's really a manual that come out of all this. The very first book I studied on my own before I even went into naturopathic medicine was about none of these diseases. This was in 1995. I got this from one of those dollar bookstores, and I was so intrigued. And it piqued my interest in such a way that I delve into it and understand the origin of disease. And then subsequently, I did a show called Delicious Enzyme. It's more than about eating raw or healthy food. It's about your whole physiology, from your heart to your mental, to your emotional, as well as to your gut. Delicious Enzyme is how I got started, and I want you to have this foundational piece because it is very important to lead you towards the 1 degree change. And that is my show. Now, getting back to what I started about, what is naturopathic medicine? There are so many different types. Some deal with nutrition, some deal with past traumas, but anything you put in your mouth is going to be in there trying to assimilate as well as absorb. And you are hearing the word microbiome. And I had talked a little bit about muscle testing. Muscle testing has a place, and we work with the sympathetic system or the parasympathetic system. If you talk about these 2 systems to your MD, they're going to be scratching their head because they come from another corner. It's like apples and oranges. And even though they're on the same street, but they're in different corners. And all I want to say is every part is important. And I talked about muscle testing because when I test people, it's not just the blood work. That's a part of it. But my initial test includes a lot of questionnaires and survey questions to see what part, what organ, what system. Is it the endocrine system? Is it your digestive system, where your gut is? And also, just for fun, my little grandson, when he was about 3 or 4, he's almost 10 now, he gave me a Christmas present. And he was really laughing about it. And I thought, what is he up to? Well, he gave me this. And I said, "What is this? Why you gave this to me?" He said, "Then you can show your patients." And I said, "Show me how it works." And I'll show you this little gadget. And I said, "You got the big picture." He said, "Grandma, you always talk about my gut and always talk about poop." I said, "Oh, yes, poop, pee, sweat, sleep, eat. When you can do all that, you are already healthy." And of course, he thought that was so funny. So the whole Christmas season, he was doing this. Well, even though this is so fun and so cute, but the reality is when I work with patients, this is what I focus on, your gut. And if there is, people talk about detoxing, that's on the next show. And I will talk about that after this commercial. And before I forget, go get my book. Hi, Dr. Mary Axness here. At age 72, I finally retired. And guess what? I wrote a book. It's called Optimize Wellness and Maximize Life. And you know what? God healed me from 3 major medical challenges. One of them was a serious brain concussion injury over 10 years ago. And the doctor said there's nothing they can do other than just sit on the porch and rock. That didn't sit well with me at all. So I do what I knew best to do, eat myself back to health, plus co-labor with God, and did a lot of study and understand how to feed the brain well and recover. Now I can say, order this book. I'm going to have classes over this too. And come along and grow young with me. Retirement is just a new chapter. So if you go get the book and start reading a little bit over it, scan through it, because before 2025, you will be invited to be a part of the delicious enzyme and 1 degree change workshop on Zoom. And I will actually expand on this topic and apply it individually for you and your health. And there are so many interesting things, so many telltale signs from your body that all of us can pay attention to, as well as check your family members. But don't be so picky on them. We don't know what we don't know. And the most important thing is do it with a cheerful heart. And I wanted to now introduce to you part of my everyday 1 degree change. You heard about the brain injury. Well, I had another one, which was a very serious car accident. Well, once again, with the foundation of taking quality supplement, detoxing, eating delicious enzyme-rich food, how to cook it, how to prepare it, how to get your body to assimilate these nutrition so that we don't waste most of our money for the things that we invest in. The most important thing is I want everyone on this channel to be able to eat well, finish strong, and not only that, meditate on the best part is how to be grateful. If you're grateful for what you got, because after all, you only have today. And I want to get us to a meditation process is called grateful. And grateful is remind ourselves the previous 24 hours is the most important part. Now, why is it the previous 24 hours? because that's all you can remember. And that's probably just one step of it. Now, I want to show a little bit about how I test, how I keep the best part of my intake, because a lot of times, if our microbiome isn't working well, we're talking about gut, if you're constipated or have loose stool, that's not going to help our body assimilate. So when I do muscle test, I always make sure that people are prep, ready, and I only use some of the highest quality herb or supplement or food, because many people have developed allergies. And the most important thing is, are you open? Are you receiving? And not everybody wants to work at this. We all want to feel good, but we don't want to always apply what we learn. And to me, that's the most important thing. When a naturopath see a patient, one of their best desire is to turn them into a client, because when usually after 3 months, it's time to turn them loose, according to my book, because they would have understand a little bit about their own physiology. And more importantly, if they are not willing to do healthy wellness as a lifestyle, then we may be wasting each other's time. So, getting back to muscle testing, I use fresh herb, and this is a 95-year-old company. I also use fresh food to test the body, see if the body can actually assimilate. And then finally, I explain about how to eat, when to eat, and why their body is not absorbing well. The component to it is, guess what? Is a mindset. Let's wrap our head around this particular statement. Your body heals on its own priority. You cannot tell it when to get healed, where to get healed. When there is deficiency or decline, especially on the cellular level, unless surgery is absolutely needed, everything becomes chronic. What do I mean by chronic? Chronic means a lot of times autoimmune illness is not from one thing, it's from a multiple of things. So, what are the multiples? I'm talking about parasites. I'm talking about digestive issues. I'm talking about congested liver. I'm talking about injury to the kidneys. And what happened when that is not taken care of? It will show up on the skin, on the hair. Truthfully, when I had my concussion injury for 2.5 years, my hair almost turned completely white. It became neural inflammations. That's a big word, but many children, especially boys, they are so playful. They don't know. They don't even realize that they have broken their clavicle bone or have serious damage to their rotator cuff. And some of them, because men are doers, they just keep going, thinking it's no big deal. And when they finally come to me when I tested it, a lot of times I realize this thing has been injured since childhood. But there's not enough nutritional dense feeding into their system to get the body healed. let me introduce another concept. That is when you constantly injure that rotator cuff, that knee joint, and you don't know how to rest up. You don't know how to feed yourself properly so that it assimilate, it get absorbed. The digestion can be blocking. And one of the organs that are so prevalent is your liver. What do you think I call the liver? Is your processing plant. And it has over 500 functions. So all these bring me to the conclusion that 1 degree change at a time. So stay tuned, get the book, and once we have established Zoom classes, I want everyone to engage. Now, you may be overseas, but when a surgeon open up the inside, it doesn't matter what race, what culture you're from, these organs look alike. You cannot differentiate inside without blood work. Life is in the blood. That whether you're black, white, yellow, or any other race, inside we're all the same. Equality spells health, and we all deserve to live long, strong, healthy, and finish better than we start. One of my biggest yes to doing what I do is also not become a liability to my families, to my children. You see, I have seen people have to sell their house to overcome cancer. And just because the hospitals say you are well, that means there's a lot more work to rebuild health. And I'm extremely thankful that having been able to live better, stronger, full of vitality at age 73, when I should have been having tubes out or maybe in a vegetative state. So let's be grateful. And with that, let us do our meditation right here. That let's close our eyes. And I thank God for the last 24 hours that I didn't get run over by a car. I wasn't in a hospital. I am out running around, living life to the fullest. And that's a good thing. So I'm thankful that the heavens declare that I am a child of God and I deserve to be healthy and live long, strong, full of vitality. And thank you, God. Amen. Thank you for all of you attending. I will see you next time on episode 4